Welcome, welcome. My name is Dara. This is Core 30 Minutes. We have a little bit of PT tips. I'm a physical therapist as well as a strength coach, yogi, etc. This is for you if you are an active adult over 40, endurance athlete, rehabbing some injuries, just need some core work in your life. Join me. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class. Weights are optional, so if you've got them, you can bring them, but that's totally optional. I'm going to show you options, variations based on your level. Please modify as needed based on what's going on with your body, right? So let's start off in standing. We're gonna do a little bit of a yoga warm up. Pretty simple. I do this every class, and then we're gonna take it down onto the floor. We've got a series of 3 core moves. We're gonna do a little bit of glutes, a little bit of lower back work today, but some deep lower abdominal work as well. So we've got a little bit of everything. So let's get started. Start off in standing. Come to the back of your mat. Reach your arms up nice and high to the sky. All you need is a mat, yoga. Weights are optional, again. We'll add those in later. Reach, get some nice length in your spine, elongate. Think about crown of the head to the ceiling, nice posture, tall spine. Root your feet into the ground. Let's get warmed up here. Inhale. And then exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down. Knees are soft, keep your back nice and relaxed, supple. Again, we're looking for mobility in the spine, in the hips, and the joints, as well as our strength in our core. We want everything, right? Hang out here, shake the arms out, release any tension. Just notice what you're feeling, any tightness anywhere, hamstrings, back, whatever. One more breath here. We're gonna speed up. We've got 3 rounds just of this warm up. And then on your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten up the knees. Get a nice stretch in your hamstrings. This should feel good on the hammies. Brace with your abs here. This is your hinge, your hip hinge, your deadlift position. Hold it here. Nice separation, hips and back. Hold it here. And then bring your hands down, step back into plank. We're gonna do a little bit more planks in our warm-up. So again, if you've got shoulder issues or you need to modify, please do, right? Based on what's going on with you. Spread your fingers wide for your strong plank and then push away from the mat. So I don't wanna sink into the shoulders. Push away, tuck the chin in, elongate the spine, brace, abs are on. And then exhale, knees down, nice and easy. Slowly lower elbows close to my sides. Open the chest, uncurl your toes. Push yourself up into a little baby cobra. We're starting off super mellow, just getting warmed up. This will get harder. And then exhale, back down. Uncurl your toes, push yourself back, downward facing dog. That's the whole warm up. We're gonna go through that 2 more times to make it 3 rounds, right? We got 3 rounds on our warm-up, we got 3 rounds of our core work, and then we stretch, we're done. That's it. Pedal out your feet. This should feel nice on the calf and the ankles. Again, spreading my fingers wide to support, stabilize my shoulders, push myself back. This should look like a little triangle, right? Not a rounded back, flatter back. Bring that butt high. Pedal your feet, stretch your calf and ankles. Let's go through this whole sequence again. This is our sun salutation yoga warm-up. You don't need to be great at yoga. You don't need to be super flexible to do some yoga. Roll up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Round 2, same thing, speed it up a little bit. Come to the back of your mat. Inhale, reach to the sky. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Root your feet into the ground. All the toes touch, heels touch. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, forward fold. Bring your arms all the way down. Knees are soft. Hang out here, 1 breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back hinge. Abs on. Hands come down, plank. Strong shoulders, fingers spread wide, pushing away from the mat. Exhale, either knees down, or if you want to challenge yourself, elbows come all the way down. Chaturanga, nice way to work on your push-up strength. Upper body. Right, let's get it in when we can. A little bit of upper body. That's part of our core. Inhale, up dog or cobra. This should feel nice on the lower back. So a little bit of bracing with your abs, again, to support the lower back. And then pull the shoulder blades down your back. Engage your lats. That's gonna give you that stability to keep your back nice and healthy and supported. 1 more breath here. You can always keep it into that low cobra if you want. And then exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. That's round 2, we're done. We have 1 more round. You should be starting to feel loosened up, getting ready for our core series. Got a little bit of glute work, like I said, a little bit of deep lower abdominal work, a little bit of everything. Walk your hands back to your feet, last time through. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. We're gonna add a little bit more planks into our warm-up after this, so get ready. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Use the breath. That is part of your core. Breathe. You gotta breathe, guys. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, stretch. Hands come down, plank, more planks to come. Nice strong plank here, pushing away, work those shoulders. Abs are on. Exhale, lower with control however you want. You can do knees down. Challenge yourself a little bit. Up dog or cobra, this one should always feel good. I tell my clients, my patients, this one should not feel pinching in the lower back, right? So pull the shoulder blades down, a little bit of abs, or keep it into that low cobra. Exhale back down. Push yourself back downward facing dog. We're moving on. Next part, we do have some planks. Widen your stance. So if your shoulders or wrists or whatever don't feel great with this, you can always modify, right? Come into a forearm plank. You can come into child's pose. You can do some other stretches. We're just going to go through a little bit more of our warm up here. So widen your downward dog, because what I want you to do is get a little bit longer so that when you finish into plank, you're stacked here and you're not in front of your wrists. If you need to double up your mat as well to give your wrists some more support, please do that. Add a towel or whatever. So I'm here in my tall plank, right? Again, active, strong shoulders, strong wrists. We'll roll out the wrists in a second. Exhale it back and then rock it forward. I just want you to go back and forth and use that exhale and back into plank. A little bit core. Again, I'm thinking of exhale, drawing in the belly, abs are on. Let's do a few of these and then let's roll out those wrists a little bit and then we'll come back and we'll make this harder. We're gonna add a leg lift onto this. So it's gonna be a three-legged dog like that in a second. Let's do two more just regular like this. Rock it back, use those shoulders, strong shoulders here. And then bring your knees down. Let's roll the shoulders and the wrists out. Again, wrists can be a little bit sensitive with some of these planks, but part of it is gradually giving yourself a little bit of that work into that plank. So if you know your wrists are a little bit tender, just gradually add more over time, right? And you will build, for most people, it's about just kind of learning to kind of gradually get a little bit of that pressure into those wrists, right? So desensitize them. And again, some mobility as well, right? Just rolling them out. And you can always double up the mat. So let's come back into that. Now you're gonna add a leg lift. So we're just finishing out our warm-up with a little bit of core before we get into the main core series. So when I come back into my three-legged dog, now I'm gonna kick my leg up and then I'm gonna pull it forward. So I'm gonna start with my right leg. If this is too complicated, you're like, Dara, I don't know what the heck you're doing, whatever. Just you can keep it to that plank into downward dog, right? Or just plank. Always options. You got to listen to your body, right? So if this is not feeling right or it's feeling disjointed or you're like, what the hell is she doing? Just modify. If you are doing this, I want you to exhale as you draw that knee up. That should feel like a crunch. Push back, engage your glutes, pull up, abs and hip flexors. Kick back. Use the breath. Pull it up, crunch. We'll do a few on this side, then we'll do a few on the other side. Again, you can just keep it into that down dog, into plank. If you don't want to add the legs, you can just do downward dog. You can just do planks. One more. Perfect. Feet down. Roll it out. We'll do the same thing other side, and then we are going to finish out our warm-up. Same thing other side. Let's finish strong. Again, focusing on the breath. That will help you, and that is a part of your core, that diaphragm, that breath control. Exhale. Push. Pull. Crunch. So our core series today, we have 3 moves. Most of my classes, you're gonna get 3 moves, 3 advanced core moves. I'm gonna show you some modifications. We've got a little bit of deep lower abdominals. We're gonna finish with some glutes. We're gonna start with some obliques. That's it. 3 rounds, 3 moves. Weights are optional. I'm gonna show you some weights if you wanna add them for the glute work and you wanna add them for the first move, optional, right? Second move, just some deep lower abdominal work. It's gonna be challenging. Let's do 2 more just like this. Pull. One more time. Beautiful, done. Cat, cow, finish your warm up. Let's get ready. So we've got a series of 3. As we finish our warm up, cat, cow. Why? Because this just feels good for almost everybody. Nice way to mobilize the spine, get ourselves ready. We're gonna start off with a little bit of obliques, right? And then we have our deep lower abdominals. That's gonna be legs lowering. And I might change that in the 3 rounds that we do. And then our last one is glutes. So if you've got weights, grab them. You don't need heavy weights for this. Seated Russian twist is our first move. Get ready. Last one here, cat-cow. All right, weights are optional. You don't need weights, totally up to you. I'm gonna show you some different options. So if you've got your weights, I got my little 8-pound kettlebell. Sometimes I do more with the weights. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of our plank and our squats and our warm-up. Totally up to you. Sitting up nice and tall for your Russian twist. I want you to work on the seated posture as well. Sitting on those little sit bones, nice tall back, strong, healthy spine. Pull the shoulder blades down to support your back, right? If this doesn't feel great on your back, doing these Russian twists and seated, then go onto your back. You could do some bicycle crunches or something on your back for obliques. Again, obliques is our primary mover that we're doing here. Weights optional. If you don't have weights, you could grab a water bottle. You could just do your hands. Or if you lift the legs up, you're gonna give yourself a little bit more balance challenge. So you've got options for this Russian twist. So pick whichever version is gonna be the most challenging for you that you can do with good form, right? I'm not here. Right? I always tell my patients, we don't want to be here. We don't want to be stressing out our back, like sitting on our tailbone. I want you to sit up nice and tall, and I want you to go for some rotation, right? So if you're not really rotating that far because you're stiff or tight or whatever, this is an opportunity, especially if you've got the weights, that's going to help you get a little bit extra rotation, which is good for the spine. We need that mobility in the spine, but that's also going to get you to engage those obliques fully, right? This is that partial range. I want full obliques. Why? Because if you want more definition in your abdominals, right? We want to get their full abs engaged, but also if you want more stability and those obliques, they kind of connect us from our one shoulder to our opposite. They drive power for our sports or just for life, walking, etc. So a lot of reasons why we want to add in some core work, whether it's for your sports, whether it's just to keep your spine healthy, whether it's because you want more definition, right? For some physique goals, they are all valid, right? So this class is for everybody, right? Again, and of course, modifying based on what feels right to you. So this is our first exercise. I like the weights. Why? Because it also adds a little bit of upper body work in. Work those shoulders. People neglect a lot of that upper body strength, especially my runners, my cyclists. You need all of it. Let's do a few more here. Then we're gonna come onto our back for some lower abdominal challenging work. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. Drop the weights. Lower abdominals, key. You need to keep your lower back supported. I cannot emphasize that enough. As a PT, the goal of this is not to thrash your back. Do not irritate your back. So you need to start here. My lower back is pressed down. So I always say people start here with the head up. That's gonna help bring the rib cage down. That's gonna bring this down. This lower back needs to stay supported as the legs go down and up. So I'm gonna do a flutter kick. I might change this in our round 2, but I want you to go to the depth that you can go with the legs down where your lower back is still stuck to the floor. People do not do this one correctly, right? If your lower back and your head can be down, that's fine. So again, if you have a bigger, longer leg, this is gonna be more challenging, right? Longer lever, right, to support here. So in some ways, a lot of these for me as a smaller person, a lot easier. I got less leg to control. So I hate to break it to you, if you are a bigger person, get a bigger, stronger, whatever leg, this is gonna be harder here. So for my athletes, this is challenging for them, right? If you got a really meaty leg, that's more work to stabilize here. Now your lower back, whatever you do, whatever you're doing right now, your lower back needs to be stuck to the floor. If it's going like this and there's a gap here, not only is it wrong, but you're putting a ton of stress on your back. So when you see these people doing it at the gym, and their back is arching with all these like double leg lower things, that ain't it. That's wrong, right? So again, another little tip I would suggest if this is really challenging, don't go as far, like don't go as low, keep it high, and then lift your head up. That's gonna help you put the rib cage down to connect here. That's gonna help keep that lower back down. Tuck the chin in as well. So I always like to do a few with the head up. I would suggest anybody that I work with, I always want them to start with just a few to get this right, get this locked in. Let's do 4 more. Kick, 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 kick. 3. These are hard, right? No matter which level, they're hard. 2. One more. And rest. Whew. Glute bridge. Again, weights optional if you want to have the weights on your hips here for your bridges, glute bridges. We'll change this a little bit in our round 2. If you don't have weights, you can use mini bands around the thighs. 1 weight, 2 weights, whatever. If you don't have them, that's okay too. Body weight bridge. Don't underemphasize, don't forget that your glute bridge is a really good way to get some lower body work in if you don't have a lot of weights, right? So we can do our squats. There's not that much more that we can do, but this is a nice one. Glute activation, squeeze. I'm gonna keep it really simple this round, right? Next round, I'm gonna add a little bit of, make this a little bit harder, and then our last one is gonna be a single leg bridge. But for round 1, let's just get into that glutes. I want you to think about this bridge. It's not a spine, like roll up type of a bridge that you would do in yoga. This is more of a glute hip thrust. I want you to think of this as like your hinge, like we started off with hinge. So glutes active. If all you're feeling is your lower back, that's not this. This is primary mover, glute. Secondary, maybe hamstrings, maybe lower back. So squeeze, dig the heels in. Find that angle and that position where your feet are, that as you drive up, you can really squeeze, engage, and get the most, and you're feeling it in your glutes. When you come up to the top, that should be a nice triangle, right? Don't let that butt hang low. That's another way that you can also kind of drive more stress into the back. So glute bridge, focus, right? Glutes, part of your core, not just abs. So finish this. We're gonna add a little bit of spice to this one in our other 2 rounds, but let's just keep it simple. Engage, abs are here. My rib cage is not flared, it's down, I'm connected here, here. Little weights on my hips, if you have them. Last few. Then we're gonna come back into that Russian twist again, right? 2 more here. 1 more. If you've got the weights, let's come back up into our Russian twist. Weights are optional. You can always get a water bottle, right? Whatever. You don't need weights for this one, but I do like them, right? Just to add in, like I said, especially a lot of the people that I work with, a lot of my athletes, endurance athletes that maybe are not getting as much upper body, you can always sneak in one of my little other tips. You can always sneak in a little bit of extra shoulder work if whatever your goal is, strength, definition, just healthy, resilient body, right? A little bit of upper body work, just add more weights to some area. That's what I do with all of these classes. That's intentional, right? So just another way to get in some upper body strength. Again, nice, strong, solid upper body. That's your posture. That's gonna help support your whole body. That is your core. You need that upper body controlled. We don't want to be slouching, hunching over computers all day, etc. So use that upper body, get it stronger. Round 2. Got the twist again. If you don't have weights or you just want to focus on something different, like again, that balance, that's going to work your core as well, just in a different way, right? So you decide. Just stay focused in whichever you're doing. Really go through as much range as you can. If you have a tight upper back, you may not have as much of this rotation, but guess what? This is a good chance to work on it. So if you've got a tight upper back, this is a great exercise to work on rotation in your thoracic spine. If you don't move well here, guess what? You're gonna stress out your shoulders, your lower back. So this is a good double whammy, kind of get some of that rotation in as well as obliques. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. On your back. If you want to be a total savage, you can also hold the weights here as you flutter. Actually, let's do a little bit of like scissor with the legs, right? Other little tip that I will give you. So if we're adding weights in, I'm doing some challenging work like this, or my dead bugs, or something else where my legs have to move. Sometimes having the weight will give you a little bit better stability. So it's kind of a nice thing to add in as well. So you're gonna challenge, so I'm doing a little bit of arm work, just holding the weights up, not that hard, but holding on can help you. So if you need that and you find that this actually helps you keep that lower back pressed down, do it, right? So there is benefit to sometimes adding those weights, right? Again, With these, I want you to go as low as you can. So I'm just kind of scissoring the legs in and out. You can do your flutters, whatever. Just changing it a little bit faster. And I'm thinking again, what is the primary thing that I need to focus on? My lower back stays pressed down. I do like the head up. You can always have your hands here. We got one more round after this. So stay focused, keep that lower back pressed down. Let's do a few more. And then we've got our glute bridge next. We're gonna do a marching bridge. So if you've got the weights, great. If not, doesn't matter. You can still do the mini bands. Tons of options, glute focus, but a little bit more core for a glute bridge. Two more just like this. Down, down, down. Back up, one more. All right, glute bridge. Again, weights are optional. If you don't have the weights, I want you to drive the hips up, so find that bridge. Glute emphasis, flat back, abs are in, press down, hips are level, hands are here, and then I'm marching. So this is a little bit different. So glutes need to stay on the whole time. Arms can be here. Weights can be here. Hands can be here. The main focus besides my glutes is my hips need to be level. So I don't want to see this little wonky kind of side to side. One hip is dropping. So it's a really good way to work on that hip symmetry, work on some balance, balanced pelvis, core integration. Can I march my legs, engage my glutes, keeping my hips level? And for a lot of people, that's kind of hard, right? You got a lot of things to think about. Hips are elevated. Glutes primary driver. My back is not getting tired, fatigued, cranky. Abs are engaged here. I'm not flaring the ribs down. Level here. Meaning I'm not rocking side to side. That's going to tell you. So like in PT for my patients, this is a really good exercise to kind of hone in on that. Hips, are they dropping? Is the lower back hurting? Are they coming to me for hip pain or back pain or whatever? This is a good one, right? Let's do a few more. And again, I can have the weights here as well, right? Or one weight, whatever. Breathing. I always forget to tell people, don't forget to breathe, right? Last round coming up. Let's make it our best round. Two more. One more. All right, back up into seated, last round. Let's speed through this. I want to stretch, make sure we get in some stretching. Back in, we're not taking a break. Russian twist, whichever version you want. Let's add a little bit of tempo, right? So again, things that you can change with your workouts, whether it's your strength training, if you're doing like a progressive overload, you're trying to build over time, you can build your reps, you can build your weight, going heavier. Maybe I do heavier weights for my core work or my strength work, but then you can also play with tempo, right? There's a lot of things that you can change with your progression over time, or just to keep it different, challenging. So I can go slower, I can do holds at the bottom of my squats, I can also do speed, right? So don't forget about those things. Those are things that I teach in all my programs, I teach my clients, different ways to challenge and add progression. It doesn't always need to be heavier. And it doesn't always need to be more sets or reps. So speed, let's speed it up. A little bit more metabolic. Let's go a little bit faster. Don't forget that full rotation. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Weights at my sides, fluttering the legs. Head is up. Kick, 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 kick. Let's do a little bit of speed. Kick, 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 kick. I hear my dog. Might come over. Nope, he's not. Okay. I'm adding speed, but that doesn't mean I'm compromising my form, right? I'm kicking faster, 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 faster. Breathing. My lower back still needs to stay pressed down. Maybe I have my head up like this. Again, I'm adding speed. That doesn't mean that I kind of half-ass it and don't pay attention to keeping my lower back pressed down. Last few. Kick, 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 kick. Kick. 2 more, just like this. 1 more. Glute bridge. Finish up strong. Let's do some single legs. Let's just burn it out. Having that hand here, give you a little bit of opposing muscle group. My left leg driving into that heel of that left leg. Fire up that left glute, squeeze, squeeze. You can just finish with your single leg or double leg bridge with the weights, whatever you want. I'm gonna just finish out, burn out each hip. And up, and up. Single leg, burn it out. These ones hurt. Ooh, feel that in my hamstring and my glutes. Last two. Last one, switch. Driving into that heel, engage, fire up that butt every time you lift, squeeze. Squeeze. If you are new to these ones you feel instantly, most people, ooh, they get a hamstring cramp. Again, when you're challenging that muscle in a new way or in a shorter range like this, a lot of people get that cramping. You're not tight. Your body's just not used to that strength. So that's a weakness in that position, right? So it's not just a tightness thing, but that happens a lot. That hamstring that kind of want to grabs and gives, as you do these more and more and more, your body, it won't freak out as much. But if you're going into it really fatigued or you just did a bunch of hamstring work, it also might happen as well, right? Last few, and then let's stretch, and that's it for today. In 4, 3, 2, ooh, I feel it. 1, relax, hug the knees into the chest, stretch it out. We are done with the hard work. Let's stretch, release, slow down the breath. Any stretches that feel good to you, now is your chance to do them. I'm just guiding you. You can modify as needed, rocking side to side, massaging my lower back. This stuff should all feel good. I always tell my patients, none of this stuff should be hurting. This needs to always feel good on your body. You are built different than me, so this may look different on you, right? The different position based on your body type. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Get those feet happy, healthy feet. I always kind of start and finish my class with these similar stretches, mobility. Copy them. You can add these into your own program. Subscribe to the channel. You will get notifications for class. I host class every week. I have a ton of core work on my playlist, my core channel, my core playlist. I have a stretching mobility playlist, foam roll. Check it out. Roll that hip around. Loosen up that hip. And then with your left hand, bring that right knee across your body. Find that position on you. Again, you may look different. That feels like a good stretch. So glutes, I'm trying to stretch my glutes a little bit, maybe my lower back. I'm gonna rotate more off the mat just to get into that lower back a little bit. Maybe my knee is higher, lower, whatever feels right to you, right? This is kind of where I'm getting like a nice little hip, glute, lower back, right? So you may look different. You may look more like this, opening that arm out just to get that chest and ribcage open, stretch upper body. Again, rotation. Spine needs movement in all directions, right? We need that rotation, healthy spine, not just strong muscles. Hold it here, slow down the breath. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe shake it out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. Sink deeper into that stretch. Just notice where you feel any tightness. And then come back to center. Let's do our figure 4 stretch on this side. We are almost done with class. Probably be like a minute or two over. You can keep it here for that hip opener. You can reach through for thread the needle. Roll the shoulders, release tension. Neck, shoulders. A lot of times we have so much tension here, we don't even realize that we have tension in the neck, the jaw, shoulders. Let it go. Let it go. Remind yourself, if you need to roll those shoulders out throughout the day, just release any tension. A lot of us, we have so much tension here, we don't even realize it. Last breath here, and then we're going to switch to that other side. Nice, easy hip opener. When you're ready, unwrap that right leg, shake it out. Hug that left knee in. Give it a good squeeze. Roll the ankles and the toes. Again, healthy feet. I cannot emphasize that enough. That is your base of support. You need those toes, ankles, foot needs to be healthy, mobile, strong as you get older. Roll that hip around. Hips do too, right? With 2 big movers. I really like to emphasize hips and feet. Everything else comes off of that, right? Keep them happy, keep them flexible, supple, and strong. Bring that knee across your body. And just noticing how the left side feels compared to the right. Everyone's got a tighter side. Everyone's got one side that's a little bit different than the other side. That's totally normal. But just kind of paying attention to that, right? Especially for my patients, they're coming into me, my left knee hurts, da 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 da, and then, oh, my left hip is way tighter. You guys put the pieces together. I'm trying to help you put all these things. It's all connected, guys. It's all connected, right? So use this class, these stretches that I'm giving. This is a chance for you to check in, work on those little asymmetries, work on the flexibility, the mobility, as well as your strength. Single leg bridge, right? Doing things a little bit, one versus left versus right, to work on those asymmetries. Last breath here, just enjoy the stretch. We are almost done. Come back to center, figure 4 stretch, one of my favorites. You could do pigeon pose, you could do thread the needle, you can do any hip opener here that feels good, any other stretch. Again, your class, your body, figure out what feels good to you. I'm just giving you classic moves that I know most people feel good and feels good and helps them get some mobility. Release tension in the shoulders, release, release. We are almost done. Let's finish off after this in seated, our last stretch. We are done with class. Thank you for coming, for watching. Hope you get something out of it. Last breath. Exhale it out. Unwrap that left leg, windshield wiper the knees side to side, rolling onto your side, coming into seated, finishing up. We are done with class. Finish with that nice tall spine, nice tall seated posture. Take this with you through the rest of the day. When you're sitting at your desk or whatever, crown of the head to the ceiling, ears over the shoulders, tall spine, proud chest. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it out. One more time, and then that is it for today. Inhale, reach to the sky, tall spine. Inhale, exhale it out. That's it. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you got something good out of this. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time, Friday, live class. Join me. See you guys later.